Have you ever noticed that some people always seem to end up in the friend zone? Not because they aren't attractive, not because they're bad at relationships, but because every time they genuinely like someone, the same pattern repeats itself. They become the trusted friend instead of the romantic partner. Psychology says this pattern isn't random, and in many cases, it reveals habits that quietly communicate something very different from what the person actually feels. 1. They hide attraction when it matters most. Some people accidentally hide their attraction when they care the most. The stronger their feelings become, the more careful they become. They avoid flirting. They avoid taking risks. They focus on being respectful, supportive, and safe to be around. Psychologically, this often happens because rejection feels more threatening when the connection already matters. If you've ever spent months talking to someone you liked without making your intentions clear, this may feel familiar. This doesn't mean you're lacking confidence. It often means you're protecting yourself from losing something important. The feelings you hide the most are often the feelings other people never see. 2. Being liked isn't the same as being desired. Many people mistake being appreciated for being desired. They become the person who always listens, the person who always helps, the person who is always available. Psychologically, this often happens because earning approval feels more predictable than creating attraction. Being useful feels safer than being vulnerable. If you constantly try to prove your value to someone you like, this may be why. This doesn't mean you're not attractive. It often means you're trying to earn something that doesn't grow from effort alone. You can become someone's favorite comfort without becoming their first romantic choice. 3. The trap of waiting for signs. People who end up in the friend zone often spend too much time reading signals and not enough time sending them. They analyze every message, every reaction, every small change in behavior. Their attention becomes focused on figuring out what the other person feels instead of expressing what they feel. If you notice yourself constantly searching for signs instead of creating clarity, this may feel familiar. This doesn't mean you're an overthinker by nature. It often develops because uncertainty feels safer than a direct answer. Sometimes people stay confused because confusion feels less painful than rejection. 4. When rejection becomes an identity. Repeatedly ending up in the friend zone can slowly change how people see themselves. After enough disappointments, they stop questioning their strategy and start questioning their worth. They begin believing they're the kind of person others like but never choose. If you've ever wondered, why does this always happen to me? This may be part of the reason. This doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It means repeated experiences have started shaping your identity. What begins as a dating pattern can eventually become a self-image. 5. The need to earn love. The deepest reason some people keep ending up in the friend zone has very little to do with dating. It often comes from a belief they learned long before relationships, the belief that love must be earned. So they become supportive, helpful, understanding, reliable. They give more and reveal less. If this feels familiar, the real fear may not be rejection. The real fear may be discovering that being yourself isn't enough. This doesn't mean you're needy or broken. It often means you've learned to seek connection through service rather than vulnerability. Some people spend so much time proving they're lovable that they never allow themselves to be known. Maybe the friend zone isn't always about choosing the wrong people. Maybe it's sometimes about hiding the parts of yourself that create romantic connection in the first place. The attraction, the desire, the vulnerability, the willingness to risk hearing no. Maybe you're not unlucky. Maybe you're not unlovable. Maybe you've simply become so skilled at protecting your feelings that other people never get close enough to see them. And when that happens, people connect with the version of you that feels safe, while never meeting the version that wanted to be loved. If you're interested in understanding yourself a little more deeply, subscribe. Because this channel isn't about giving you more noise. It's about helping you hear the thoughts you've been trying to ignore.